there's one thing shitty about my observing is that maybe I stay zoomed out a little too much. Like, you could make that argument. But it's because of that we found the sharks literally like the first time we saw this map or something.
Sure,
Dude. Like, we were staring at them the whole time. And then we get all these threads like, oh my god, did you know there's a thread or a shark on Abyssal? Like, yeah, of course we did. We named it and everything. No, I'm kidding. But either way, let's get this going because we do have 2 D1 players, so shit could get started here rather quickly. A returning player in the Nydus that we've seen many times here, our orange Zerg player in the top left-hand corner of the map. Coming at us from quests, it is JakeTheDog.
And his opponent from Rival, the Red Terran, it is MLT.
Zillus is from PT, by the way. We'll show a lot of love to Proxy Tempest here later on. But if you don't know who Proxy Tempest is, you should find out. They're an awesome tournament organization. They do so much content, I couldn't even list it off. Seriously, I think they have stuff going on about 5 days out of the week. But if you do not know who PT is, find out who they are because you'd probably enjoy their content, I guess is all I got to say there.
Yeah, man. Twitch.com/proxy underscore tempest. Proxy underscore tempest.
Little Earthquake says I'm AV Gust in the bracket. Awesome. That's a Psionic Aftermath guy, I believe. So there's another clan that we have nothing but a lot of love for. They've always supported our content and have been signing up pretty much since they found out about us. So a lot of love for Psionic Aftermath as well.
Yep, absolutely. Looks like Command Center coming down for MLT as he is going to pick up that Reaper. So Reaper expand for him. Meanwhile, for JakeTheDog, you know, pretty standard expansion, pool and gas going down for him. So nothing crazy from either of these 2 players.
Yeah, we got our second barracks, so maybe that's a hint of a 2-1-1. It's a little early to call it, but it's kind of looking like that's where he's headed on that side of things. But still good, and especially in the TVZ matchup, it's pretty popular, so still catches me on the map often.
Yep.
So, Swag says right now, and I'm a little drunk. Yeah, so we have a drunk admin tonight, but hey, it's better than doing that shit as the cast. No, I'm just messing around, but huge shout out to Swag Syndrome. He's also a streamer, by the way, so if you want to show our admin a little bit of love. All right, so the Reaper's going to poke in here and get chased away by a couple of Lings.
Yep, absolutely, man. So he's going to pick up 1 at least, which is nice, man. Just poking around, making those, you know, make sure to keep an eye on where they are.
Just try to delay the third for as long as humanly possible, basically. So we'll have to see, man. It looks like he's going to go down and take the triangle third here and avoid the Reaper. Yeah, I was going to say, MLT sees that and is going to try to block it, but loses his Reaper in doing so. So JakeTheDog will get out that third, which is extremely important here that he does so. So yeah, I mean, we're off to a pretty standard game then.
Yep, for sure, man. With Stim coming down and the reactor on the other barracks and the factory, this is starting to look very 2-1-1 from MLT, so we'll have to see how crisp his execution on that build is. It's really kind of balls in his court now. As we can see, you know, like you said, JakeTheDog going for that third base. He kind of wants to sit back, you know, drone up a little bit, make sure that he can play a defensive game here and get his economy where he wants. MLT is more looking to do this, you know, kind of early mid-game damage here. So it's up to him to set the pace in this game.
Yeah, and a lot of Zergs deal with this differently, too. Well, I guess not too differently, right? There's really, like, 2 ways where you can either choose to get Banes or you can just get a shitload of Queens and Lings. So I'm kind of waiting to see whether he's going to drop the Banely Nest or not. But so far, it's looking like he's just going the Queen-Ling route. So you can definitely hold it with that.
Yeah, dude, look at this, man. Are these... Okay.
Wait.
JakeTheDog, look at these Lings, like, on patrol.
Oh, my God, dude. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, wow. That's
just
crazy.
Fantastic play there, man. He's got Overlord speed too, so he's flying this Overlord around. I mean, he pretty much sees not everything, but a lot of key positions on the map where drops would be moving out.
Yeah, that's
and you
pretty
can tell
awesome.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I was going to shit on myself again and say I get really jealous when I see things like this, and I wish I could do them, but I use F2, so that's not going to happen. I really need to break that habit because that's so badass, dude. You can't drop on this guy, literally. Like, maybe if you just time it up to where it runs by on the pad, but other than that, man, he has complete vision of this drop. I guarantee you he's going to see it. Watch, I say that, and he just walks right past it.
Dude, he's going to have to dodge. There is kind of this spot up the middle here where, oh my God, if he gets the boost, can he do this? Dun, 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 dun. Dude.
I think he just did it, too. That's
holy
hilarious.
Shit. If he's got to cut hard right here, but he's gonna snake through. Oh, no, he's good. He's going to get out. Oh, my God. Wow, dude.
Oh, my God, he's hacking. Dude, no, I'm just kidding. But
for
that was,
sure,
that
dude.
was pretty slick, so... I'm not actually accusing him of hacking for the record. But that was slick, man. He got all the way in undetected. He's getting down the third. Okay, he's not going to get it down, actually. That was a pretty good response time from JakeTheDog, and now I'm not sure if this is going to be able to find as much damage as he's looking for, but maybe if he drags him away here and loads up and goes into the natural, I bet he could find a little bit more. Ooh.
Pulls those lings out, does clean up actually all the lings here. I love how we are sitting here. Nobody usually in the Platinum Diamond tournaments has that, you know, patrolling individual lings and stuff like that. I thought it was funny as hell, man. We're sitting here praising him, and MLT just goes right through it and makes us look like fucking idiots.
Yeah.
But so MLT does clean up all those lings, but he will eventually, I feel like, it shoot away here as the ling bane number starts to grow.
Yeah, really quick before we get at this other aggression here, I just want to point out something in chat. Little Earthquake, the person who you're talking about, I believe, is an EU player, so because they're playing on NA, their bracket might not reflect their actual profile. I would suggest you go to Rank for the Win and look at their EU profile. Not that I don't take, like, you know, your suggestion or whatever. It's not like I'm just saying you're wrong, but I look up every single player and check for stuff like that. So that just means he probably has an EU account with a lot of games on it. Either way, though, we do appreciate it, man. But yeah, we'll have to see, man. I think he could have almost got down that third if JakeTheDog didn't have such good response time. He was kind of all over that shit as soon as it hit, man. And he still took a lot of losses from it, but at least he prevented his third from going down, so...
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, and someone just confirmed that he's an EU player, so yeah, no worries. But yeah, I would suggest from now on checking out for EU players because their profiles don't show up. It always throws me for loops too, man. I do it every week. I'm like, wait, this guy's a Smurf, and then I'm like, oh, they just play on the EU.
So this third base being positioned here now from MLT. JakeTheDog doing a decent job. He's getting that saturation up on the third base. You know, has full gas saturation, but not a lot on the minerals, which tells me that, yeah, he does have that Spire, and he is getting +1 attack for these mutas. Will MLT hit before the muta count is very high, though, and actually there's no Bane speed either, so this could be a nice timing here for MLT.
Yeah, this was pretty important from JakeTheDog here, picking up the aggression was coming in, so he at least like didn't get caught off guard or halfway across the map. Ooh, triggering those Widow Mines was huge there, too, also. Man, he might be able to hold this as long as he can find some good Baneling connects, but unfortunately they're not finding too much meat here, and he lost a lot of his links, man. Now MLT might be able to just push on through this. Unfortunately, there's no Bane speed just yet, so he can't find good connects on that bio.
Yeah, very well played by MLT, man. He carves through a lot of those Banelings, and you know, and he had really nice splits, so it's starting to look like the third base is in a little bit of trouble here. Muta's coming out with more Ling reinforcements. He should be okay. I don't know. Yeah,
that Ling reinforcement popped at like the perfect time and at the third base too. So it was where it needed to be and when it needed to be. And he should be able to clean this up, barring any disastrous mine shots. But look at those splits coming in from MLT. Those are pretty damn impressive, man. I know it's a Terran player. You got to love those. Those were clean, man.
Yep, absolutely, man. Just making sure to maximize every little bit of damage that he can take. Make sure to split up his Marines and, you know, pop as many Banelings as possible.
Yeah, Little Earthquake says, oh, okay, thank you. Sorry about that. No worries. We want you to bring those things like that to our attention. It's just we do a vetting process before every tournament to try to catch things like that. That's all I was saying, you know. So no worries, dude. That you did the right thing in voicing your criticism or whatever. But yeah, man, we should be good to go on that front. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to hold on for too much longer. Like the parade push or whatever you want to call it, it has begun here. As well as the upgrades. They're tied up in upgrades, and if anything, he's going to be on too much faster than the Zerg player because it hasn't even been started yet. So, I don't know, man. This is looking a little rough here for JakeTheDog, unfortunately.
Yep, absolutely. But some good Baneling shots could turn this game on its head. Those Widow Mines are burrowed somewhat close together, so, you know, if those do trigger on the...
That was a pretty huge mine shot, yeah.
Yep. More Banelings coming in now here. Are the splits going to be good enough? Yep.
Dude, this guy's splits are ridiculous. Like, I expected as much from a rival player, so it's not as surprising, but damn, man, those are pretty solid. But as I was saying, I think he might be able to just kind of reinforce this and push on through from here.
Will carve up that third base, so that goes down. The drones go down, and he may get to work on the fourth base. Maybe he just pushes up into the natural. No, it looks like he is going to take out this fourth base. By the way, Azalus asking, do we do these tournaments weekly? Yes, we do. We do them every Saturday. Sometimes we take a break to do an open tournament or something like that, but we do a tournament every Saturday.
Yep, except for the next 2 Saturdays because I have finals. I'm a full-time college student, so we are going to take a break. But yeah, we've done them for almost 22 Saturdays in a row now, which is ridiculous to even say, dude. But either way, this aggression is coming in, so we'll come back to that in just a minute. He needs to find some good Bane connects here. He needs. Oh, man, these splits are just so ridiculous. You can tell this guy plays Marine Split Challenge, dude. I guarantee it, man.
Yep. So the Nydus will come in here now, trying to get on those Marines as they are split. I guess, you know, one of the benefits of having them split up is, you know, they do less damage to the Mutapack, but the Mutas having to fight straight up Marines with Medivacs over them, never a good spot to be in.
Yep.
GG well played is called.
Rival will take.
Takes game 1.
Yeah, that was some pretty ridiculous play there from both players, though. I think JakeTheDog almost held on there. He was just a little too overwhelming there at that third base, and he lost a couple of mine shots. But he's still playing like a monster. I think he could definitely do this.
Yep, I totally agree, man.
Belshir will be the next map. So Lady Azella says, great, whenever I'm not completely drunk from roleplay, I'll play. Awesome, we would love to have you. Tell all your friends and come on back next week. Oh, I just wanted to say this because I know you're an EU player. On the last Saturday of every month, we change up our time slots and run 6 hours earlier. So come back every week, but be sure for sure to check out the last Saturday of each month because we run specifically catered at a time to EU players. So thanks for playing either way, though.
A lot of people like that EU time. I like that EU time. It's kind of nice to be casting games in the day, in the sunlight.
Fuck it, we're doing all of our tournaments that time. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, let's see what happens on Belshir, man. This is kind of the same style of map setup, and I just mean not a 4-player, so he could technically do the same thing here. We'll have to see if JakeTheDog can hold on, you know?
I think he can.
I think he can, dude. He's playing good. It's just one of those things where sometimes it's just a little overwhelming. You lose a couple mine shots, and you just kind of lose the ability to hang on. We've all been there, so...
Yeah, TVZ's kind of like, you know, it goes a lot of different ways. But when you're playing those Ling Baneling Muta Wars versus Bio, it kind of is like a seesaw or like, you know, like a scale or something like that. Like you take these engagements and the splits and Zerg, you know, crashing their Banelings, but all these things kind of add up over time. It can start to stack the scales in somebody's favor.
Yeah.
And just the constant splitting from MLT. Just kind of eventually got the better of JakeTheDog, but it could go the other way, and that's what I like so much about the TVZ matchup, man. Is like, it's not sometimes it's rarely over in one big Baneling bust. It's usually this kind of like constant war of attrition, you know?
Yeah, it's like tug of war, and eventually you rip someone across the middle line, and then it all falls apart from there. But yeah, I agree there. Like that's a fair assessment. Getting there is always really fun. But there are those games where like 2 mine shots or some Banes will bop it off. But I'd agree, man. It's a pretty fun matchup. But let's get this rolling here because who knows what's going to happen. Our Red Terran player up currently 1 game because of some pretty ridiculous splits from Rival. It is MLT.
And his opponent in the bottom right, the Orange Zerg from Quests. It is JakeTheDog.
JakeTheDog has always got our back, by the way. Dude's been playing in many Nydus tournaments, so.
Oh yeah.
Huge shout out to our returning players. So.
A big old returner, but I was like, after I said that dude's name, I was like, man, I wonder if he actually is a dog. The guy, it's just like the other end of the computer. This fucking dog is just killing it in StarCraft.
Dude. Who knows?
Yeah, or diamond level macro.
Getting into this game though, nothing too crazy. It looks like a pretty standard game so far. Reaper expand from the Terran player, Hatch Gas pull from the Zerg. So nothing too crazy, nor proxy or anything like that. Sometimes we get some weird shit on this map, but it does play out standard for a majority of the time. So I got roleplay Saturdays usually, so Saturday is actually fitting me better at 2 a.m. in the Sunday. Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, then you should hit us up. Then we do this weekly. Bring your EU friends. We get a lot of EU players, actually. It's pretty cool unless they make it to semifinals and then they're staying up till like 5 a.m. and trying to play StarCraft. Yeah. So things get a little weird at the end of the night for our EU players, but we definitely welcome them to come back. So.
Yeah, I think we had somebody like win one week, and like I was like, "Hey man, like give me your PayPal," and the guy was just like, "Dude, I just want to go to bed."
It's like I don't even care.
For sure, dude. He's like, "You wanna? If it's fine, if I give it to you tomorrow." And I was like, "That's cool," but he actually gave it to me. So.
Yeah. So Thargos is an EU player. Oh shit. Okay, that was pretty slick there, saving the drone. Yeah. All right, so the Reaper's gonna poke in and get chased away from these Lings. The Queen should pop, and he might be able to kill it actually if he's not too careful here.
Oh, look at that. Reaper is just, you know, living dangerously, yeah. All right.
Sick to see so many Just players still show up, even if we're not playing. Yeah, man, that's pretty badass that you guys will come watch a tournament that none of your clanmates are in. So that's pretty awesome. But next time, I expect you guys to show up. Damn it. I'm marking this on your attendance card. No, I'm just messing around.
Yeah, for sure,
Those
dude.
guys always got her back, though. Most of the time, all the semifinals is like 50% Just. All right.
Yeah,
so
we had that one where it was 3 out of 4. 3 out of
Yeah.
4 were Just players, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that's because they practice all the time, man. If you have a clan practice where every single time you guys get together, you just bash out like 30 games, you know, you're probably going to get good. That's how it works.
Yeah, man, for sure. They are kind of in an awkward situation, though, where it's like they practice so much with each other, and there's so many of them in the tournament that, like, a majority of the people you're going to be playing against are people that know your
Clanmates,
style and
yeah.
have practiced. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It makes for
Like,
the best games, though. I love that shit, dude. It's like, I'm sorry if your clan lost, but otherwise the games are going to be pretty awesome. So 2-on-1 is kicking off pretty nicely here from MLT, and we've seen what he can do with it. So it's really kind of up to JakeTheDog here to kind of figure this out, or we're going to get a repeat of last game. The one thing I do want to give JakeTheDog huge credit for is his creep spread, man. It's pretty phenomenal, or at least in comparison to mine. So I think he had that going for him last game pretty well.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see that get over to the third area. Seems kind of interesting that he's prioritizing going down the right side ramp when he is taking the third over in that position, but I'm sure he'll get that connected soon.
He's trying to do insane aggression, and that's the reason behind it, or does he just want to get out there in case he needs to take that fourth?
No, I mean, ultimately this is probably, you know, going out to the right there is going to be the path that the army likely pushes down. So I don't know, and it only takes 1 or 2 tumors to connect to the third. It's really not that big of a deal. I mean, you really, you know, ultimately do want to be spreading out to the right more, but, you know, I'd like to have my third connected so that I make sure it doesn't die.
I'd like to have those pathlings. I see one over here on the left-hand side, but I don't see the other one, man. It's pretty cool that he does this, though. Like, I wish I didn't have 2 so I could do cool things like this, man.
Yeah, I know, right? That's pretty sweet, man. It's a nice touch. Unfortunately, it was not quite enough last game to catch the drop on its way over. Looks like I'm not sure that it will on this one either.
So Lady Azelle says, I play much better on ladder than tournaments. I'm just playing to overcome my tournament anxiety. This is a pretty laid-back time to do it, man. None of us are going to give you any shit, especially if you're playing random. I got mad respect for that. But more importantly, you might find some practice partners. We've had a couple of guys team up and start practicing outside of the Nydus, and they're getting pretty ridiculously good. So he's going to poke into the third this time around. It's different, though, because there's roaches and ravagers to kind of try to deal with this. But there's no mines this time around, which he kind of counted on last time, so a bit different.
Yep.
Alright, so yeah, the aggression got chased away without finding too much damage. Oh shit, that was a sick medevac snipe.
Nice.
He almost got both of them.
Nice,
Took out one of them, so.
Very well played there. Taking one medevac all the way down. Ooh, man, those getting dangerously close there. MLT playing a little bit with fire here as the Ravagers are going to come up. I'm not sure that this is going to go all that well, trying to fight up the ramp into Bio.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. Biles are fairly decent coming down. Oh, that one.
Oh shit, yeah, I was gonna say he's got a kind of an immobile army here, so if he pokes too close, he might get picked off here. That's kind of why I don't like fighting Bio with Roach Ravager. I mean, I'm sure it can work, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of awkward to do as a Zerg player unless you have really good control. JakeTheDog, however, is taking pretty good trades here and is actually getting the better of him. He's doing kind of like that link flood behind this, and that build gets really out of control here. He might be able to tie things up here, man.
Oh, nice splits there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the reinforcements have come in very quickly here for JakeTheDog. That would have been shot decent, but probably not going to be enough to, you know, say, oh my god, so many SCVs going down to that one Bile. And there's just, this army's too beefy here. It's not going to be able to be broken by just Marine.
Yeah, well, look at the supply. It's 87 supply to 63, so JakeTheDog pretty much just timed things out. He just has to play it out. Oh, the mine shot, though. Did you see that mine shot? What leans, he says. Dude, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would try to click on it to see how many kills it had. But he biled it out. He's been really good with these biles, though, man.
Yep, that he has. But MLT, man, he's doing what he can to try to clean this up. Eventually, he will tap out. GG.
Yep. Has JakeTheDog won before? Is he a champ, or has he just done a couple deep runs?
I think he's won before.
Okay,
I know he's been in the finals.
Yeah. Like I'm remembering him in my head from doing some really deep runs, if not actually winning it. Let me scroll up and find out what map number 3 is, and we'll get this kicked off here, guys. Looks like it's going to be Honor Grounds. Man, this has been a hype series so far, though, man.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's been good games, man.
Yeah.
And I always love series. You know, I mean, what can you do? Best of threes, a lot of them end in 2-0. It's just kind of the way it goes. But,
Yeah.
you know, 1-1s are always great, man. And 2-1s are the way that I like series to go.
Yep. Let me refresh the bracket and see if anyone's made it into round 3 just yet. It doesn't appear so, but maybe they just haven't updated brackets. A lot of people have made it into round 2, though. It looks like the tournament is progressing along rather nicely.
Nice.
Morrissey, Automata, iMacro, Dreamatos, and Niru all 2-0'd their opponent to make it into round number 2. So that's pretty awesome. We got some GNR boys out tonight, too. That's cool. We're just waiting for someone to accept the invite. Maybe he needed a bathroom or, you know, get a drink or something. Some players go back and watch the replay and pull it up on afterwards and shit. So I don't know what's going on, but our player needs just a minute. Man, we've had some pretty good series, though, so far. This could have been the semis as far as I'm concerned, and we're only in round number 2, so this is going to be a pretty cool night of StarCraft, I'm feeling.
Yeah, I agree, man.
And as I
totally
said, the
agree.
last time we see at least, what, 2 maps or 3 maps? I don't pay close enough attention to know exactly the new map pool, but I know we're losing at least 2 of these maps.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't paid that close of attention. I just let it wash over me.
Yeah, that's cool.
New maps, let them happen.
Yeah, that Roach Ravager Ling build is strong. I need to learn that shit, dude. Everyone keeps telling me to figure it out, but I just never sat down and banged it out enough times to get it memorized.
Yeah, the thing that I liked about JakeTheDog's execution of that too was that he was using his bios like one at a time. Like you'll see a lot of times players will just kind of like rapid fire launch them all in one spot. And JakeTheDog was like launching one, you know, moving, launching another one, and basically zoning out a much larger area instead of just kind of, you know, panic spamming them down.
Yeah.
And it allowed those biles to hit more often. You know, when you just spam them, all the Terran player has to do is just kind of dodge that set of biles, and then they're good for the next X number of seconds or however long the bile timing is. But like if you're constantly dropping them, it's like the Terran player then has such a much harder task in dodging all the biles, you know?
Yeah, definitely, man. And as you said, I'm the first player, right? Like I just rapid fire all of them, and so if he moves one person, he dodges all of them. So yeah, you're definitely right that the better way of doing it is the way he is, where you're kind of spreading them out. So I'm out here learning, GiggleBear. All right, so let me do the scoreboard real quick, and we'll kick this off. But go ahead. It sounded like you had something to say there.
Oh, I was just going to say, in the instances where you're trying to bile a mine, a tank, or a liberator, yeah, you know, rapid fire and launch it down and ram from the sky, you know. But, like, I feel like in general, if you're just trying to fight bio, you know, versus Roach Ravager or whatever, then kind of, you know, zoning out a much larger area will probably, you know, make the trades better.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so our Orange Zerg player from Quests in the top left-hand corner of the map, tied up in this best of 3, it is JakeTheDog.
And his opponent spawning in the top right of Honor Grounds, the purple Terran from Rival, it is MLT.
Lady Azelle says, I'm always surprised about how cool games lower tier players can produce. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I won't even watch Plat Diamond content. Harumph, harumph. Like, I never really understood the attitude. I get why maybe you wouldn't want to watch players that are lower level skill from you, but sometimes we've had some killer games on the Nydus. Seriously, some of our favorite games I've casted have been at this level and not the GM level. But I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say we've had some killer GM games too. So I think there's both sides of the coin. But I agree, man. Sometimes some of the better games can be at this level because you get some weird shit instead of just the same 4, you know, like series playing out over and over. So.
Yep. I totally agree, dude.
Also, Frosty Phoenix just hooked us up with that 18 viewer host. Thank you very much, sir. That's much appreciated. How was your run in the tournament? Are you still playing? Give us an update, my man. I saw you signed up. But yeah, pretty standard game so far. It doesn't look like we have anything too crazy. Only the forward expand here, but I wouldn't even call that crazy. That's just pretty standard, I guess, on this map. So.
Yep, makes it a lot easier to start spreading creep out onto the map.
Yeah.
And makes it a lot safer. That base, if you take that third base in the one tucked kind of back in the pocket there, you're going to mine out a lot later. So, you know, you're going to have that safer base back there. So, nice out of, just kind of some subtle things, but nice out of JakeTheDog.
Yep. And we have 2-1-1 shaping up for MLT. I mean, he's already done it twice now. Kind of figured that's where he was going. But some of these Terran players will switch it up and drop a mech. So, you know, I never really assumed that that's what it's going to be. But we'll have to see, man. Jake the Dog definitely had his number last game. We'll have to see if he drops a Roach Warren really early and kind of repeats the same build. Now that he scouted him, you can get over there with Roaches pretty quick. So, I mean, I wouldn't really knock him for just running a repeat, you know?
Yep. Yeah, for sure, man. That Roach Ravager and then some Ling buffer build is definitely very, very strong. We don't see a wall in for MLT or anything like that either as of yet. So looks like Jake the Dog right now is more concerned about taking that third base. So we won't see anything, at least in the immediate.
Yeah. Lady Zell says, as much as I love watching casting the pros, the lower guys are just as much fun to watch. Yeah, I agree, man. If not funner, as we said, because you just get some weird shit every now and then. I live for the weird shit in StarCraft. We saw, what was it, like a proxy ghost rush one day or whatever? Like, just crazy stuff that doesn't even happen anymore, but they're still throwing it down. Crank Cat says, both are diamonds? Yeah. Correct, sir. This is a plat diamond tournament. I believe we have a couple plats in the bracket left, but for the majority, the rest of the night will be diamond players, with the exception of our GM grudge match. It looks like he might be gearing up for a drop too. We'll have to see. This is kind of a really good map for it because of this large overhang here. If you poke in the front, you can kind of get some lings up here, but we'll have to see.
And I guess another subtle thing too. Zerg got a little bit of an advantage here from the spawns of this map. So if Terran wants to come in and drop Zerg, he's gonna have to do it over the natural out here or over the main base. So to fly into that base that's building right now, you literally have to go over the entirety of Zerg's base. Yeah. If he had spawned in, let's say, the bottom right area, it becomes a lot easier to harass both the outside base and that pocket base because your drops are flying in and not over a ton of creep to get there and stuff. So Terran's definitely got the work cut out for him, man. He's got the kind of hardest, what I would consider the hardest spawns, to play TVZ on this map.
Yeah, definitely. And also, Jake the Dog does that weird ling pathing shit, right? Like, I'm imagining this lone ling out here is probably going to get sent on a patrol path and just sit here and watch for drops. Because that's kind of what he's been doing. I think this ling is going to do the same shit down here. So, I don't know. I guess I'm just really jealous of his map vision is all I'm trying to say. But see, look, dude. As I'm talking about it, the ling that I was just talking about just scouted the fucking drop coming in. I need to ditch F2, Giggle. Gosh.
This was the moment,
yeah,
guys.
Exactly. Like, this is when I figured it out. But no, that's pretty significant. He just saw that the drop was coming in. Now he gets to do a fat round of Banes and just kind of prepare for it, dude. All because he let one ling sit there out on the map. But I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold on here, man. This is hitting pretty early, and he doesn't have really enough lings, nor does he have Bane speed, so he really needs to find some really meaty hits here on the Bane.
Yep, so these Marines are coming forward. There are a couple of Banelings here. This is nice, even if this just cleans up creep. As long as MLT doesn't lose his Marines or his Medivacs, this push is worth it. He took out an Overlord, a couple of Lings here, and cleaned up this creep and pushed it back. So that's pretty nice, in and of itself if he does, even just pull back completely right now.
Yep. Frosty Phoenix joining us in chat. He hooked us up with the Fat Host, and he's also a really good Zerg streamer. So if you want to show some love to a member of your community, go ahead and give him the old follow. Thank you again for the host, man. That's pretty hype. This aggression, though, coming in is going to get chased away here by these lings. The queens are going to be able to attack the medevac as well. Ooh, getting in half health before it flies away. Both players know that they need to play their hearts out here, man. This is a pretty hype game.
Yep, tournament life on the line for both of these players as the series is tied up 1-1. I gotta say, so far I'm liking MLT's position. Yep. He's got that third base that he's lifting up to bring down now. Let's take a look at his upgrades. Okay, so he does have 1-1, just about halfway done.
He's gonna
Meanwhile, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he's gonna beat the Zerg to upgrades again, man. That's the second game in the row where he's got that up first, but.
Yep, for sure, man.
And the Econ, too, as you already said, he's got that third base up and rolling, but he's also got a 7-worker lead on him, too, so that's not like a game-ending number, but that's pretty significant, man.
Yep, no, you're totally right about that. Crank Cat saying, I'm Terran, but Zerg should use more of their Zerglings for scouting purposes, map vision. I totally agree, man. I'm not sure if you just got here, but Jake the Dog has been putting on an absolute clinic as far as using
map
vision.
Yeah, seriously, like, this has been a map vision class, definitely for me, because I'm a Zerg player. Alright, so this aggression is going to be able to find a lot of damage here. You got one good Bane connect, and the rest of the... Oh my god, his splits, dude. MLT's splits are phenomenal. Man. He's just able to just split up all of his bio and focus fire down all those Banelings, and he just put the Zerg player in a really tough position. So there's 26 Lings coming into production, and he needs them right now, or he's going to lose pretty much everything here. Alright, again, Jake the Dog gets the most clutch reinforcement that's ever happened, dude. The timing of that was more than phenomenal. He almost lost his third.
Yeah. For sure, man. So MLT does have to back up now to his Widow Mines. Those Widow Mines are nice, man. They give him like a little bit of a staying point where he can back up to like a temporary home base. But JakeTheDog, man, just shooing that away for now, and definitely in a commanding position here as he looks to actually.
The Widow Mines, Giggle! The Widow Mines!
Oh my
God, dude. Sorry for the
Whoa.
false hype. I thought we were gonna have a bloodbath on our hands. It was almost one, but I got a little there too early excited. Excuse me. All right, so how do you think this is going to play out, man? Things are getting a little tense. I feel like this game is ramping up here. And the winner of this moves into round number 3, too. So, these mines.
Picking up an Overseer there, which is very nice. There's actually no Overseer for JakeTheDog here. So one of those Widow Mine shots does go off, hits the Nydus, does just bruise them. I don't think actually took any out, if not maybe just the one that the initial impact or whatever. Yeah. But the parade from MLT is on its way. It's just not very big. I mean, he's got like kind of a scrappy small number of units here, but we'll see.
Yeah, he does have the upgrades going for him, though. It's not like 1-1 is just going to automatically give him the game, but you never want to be down upgrades as a Zerg player, and JakeTheDog has so much shit to worry about, he hasn't even started them. Oh, the Banelings and the Mines are about to have a face-off here. Oh, those are some pretty good from either side, actually. I don't know which one I like better. I don't even know how to call this just yet, man. The Queens are starting to work on the medevacs, though. I think he needs to do that in order to stay in the game. But there's no ground reinforcements to hold back this bio, and MLT is just starting the push or the parade or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Absolutely, man. These Banelings will come in. There are Mutas flying around the main base of MLT, so he absolutely does need to win the game with this. Widow Mine shot going off, taking out the rest of the Banelings. More Marines coming in here, taking out Queens. JakeTheDog doing whatever he can to panic reinforce this. The Mutas have rejoined with the army here. They will take out the medevacs. No Widow Mine shots to speak of, and MLT has been cleaned up for right now. Oh, that was a good one.
Jesus, this game, Giggle. I don't even know how to call it because it's just been so back and forth. It's been pretty much a non-stop scrap for like the past 2 solid minutes. Jesus, this is hype. I feel like this is exactly what we were just talking about in chat. Where, yeah, I know. I'm sitting here watching him. Oh my God. He has the Overseer right there too. Like, go get him, dude. Go get him.
Dude, I want those. Oh my, it's gonna be juicy, man. These Mutas are flying in. They're actually gonna hit before turrets are ready, so they will do damage here, which is really nice and annoying for MLT. This Widow Mine will be triggered on one of the Mutas. Okay.
That was huge, man. He got a giant Widow Mine shot on all those offensive Mutas. Oh, okay. I was trying to come back and watch the shots. Did they even get anything off? Or did they just get
one of them triggered on a Muta that was already bruised, and then the other one, got caught up in the T-fire. So that one will get taken out.
Oh, the parade though, dude. The parade has arrived. Driving down JakeTheDog's main street, dude, is this Terran parade. Oh, the splits again are just so freaking unbelievable. I want to ask him straight up, like, do you play Marine Split Challenge? Because I'd almost put money on it that he does. These are just fucking like unbelievable splits. Or maybe I just don't play Terran, so it's foreign to me, but they look pretty good, man.
No, they're definitely good, and this is what I was talking about. This is, it's not just one engagement that makes TVZ, hey, you've won this matchup. It's constant, MLT has been consistent in his splitting. Yeah, man, and you can see that it's just JakeTheDog is doing what he can, but he can't, cost-effective engage after cost-effective engage, MLT is coming up, on top here.
Yeah, it's just a war of attrition at this point, and he's just been whittling him down, or whatever, term you want to use, and it's just paid off here. And I'd have to agree with KP Murray. First of all, welcome back, dude. It's been a long time since we've seen you. Welcome back to the Nydus. But I'd really, just concur what he said, basically. 2-2 will end this game. There's no other way to put it. The Terran players, got him on upgrades twice now, so that's pretty significant in this matchup. Any matchup, like this. Oh man, so this is just the beginning of the end. Unfortunately, he just kind of gets to sim forward here and take his victory. So JakeTheDog says, well, fuck, good game, well played. And I think that's pretty much the best way to sum things up here.